I'm Melissa and welcome to Teacher Inspiration Station. I first want to say, please ignore the band-aid. I had a situation with a glass while I was washing the dishes. I'm okay. I just really wanted to film this video. So yeah, and I don't think you want to see the cut, so I'm just gonna leave that band-aid on. Anyways, I just wanted to come and share with you how you can make an interactive notebook using workbooks. So for those of you who do not know what interactive notebooks are, they are a hands-on way for students to take notes and organize information. It mostly involves cut and paste tasks that often use diagrams, pictures, lift the flaps, which helps many students better understand the material and make it more relevant. So for kindergarten, I like the hands-on element. And I like the fact that kids can kind of go and look back at the work that they have done. Like I said, I've used workbooks. Now these workbooks are ones that he wasn't really using. I'm not crazy about them. I mean, I love the colors and all that, but it's just not one of those ones that I used to really go to for him to work on. There are others I thought were a little better. I don't know. So I have this one, the big skills for little hands, early concepts. I have this one, trace and draw. These I got at my dollar store for $3 each, but the US price here says $12.99. So if you were to get it somewhere else, maybe Amazon or something, it might be more expensive than $3, but I got it for that price. And then this phonics one, I also got the dollar store, and this was $1.25. You can get workbooks for really cheap if you don't feel comfortable cutting up the ones that are a bit more money. And I do not cut up all of his workbooks. He has a few that he uses that I'm not touching, but these, yeah, we'll cut them up. We'll use them, especially since it was collecting dust, like he was not using it. And then I have a notebook. Now, whenever you're doing, I'll just put these out of the way. Whenever you're doing interactive notebooks, you need a notebook. Some of the notebooks people use could be like this one, which is a composition book. Some of them are spiral notebooks. Some people use binders. If you don't have any of that, you can take some pages and staple them together, whatever. But you just need a place to be able to, for the kids to do their activities in. So I went with a composition book just because I feel like in my research, it mentioned that it was easier, like it doesn't fall apart as easily, right? So I'm just gonna share with you in depth at some of the activities that I've done. For this one here, in his workbook, they had the letter A, and then they had some different pictures of things that started with A. The child had to circle what started with A, or point to what started with A. It was just one of those little activities. So I just cut out all the items, and then I had my son sort ones that start with A, put at the top here, and ones that didn't, you're gonna put below the line here. So I created a little line for him to do that. Then I gave him a little sticker. For this one, it was things that start with B, stick them on the page. So I had a few different ones that didn't start with B. This was a blank one where he had to draw his own item, which was book. I had him write book down. C, again, another sorting activity. And then I did some math. Now, there are, like if I were to do this in a classroom, I would separate it by subjects. So like language literacy I'd put in one area, science I'd do in another book, math I would do in another book. But because I only have one notebook, number one, and also because it's my son, it's just one kid that I'm working with, I'm like, I just put it all in here. So I mix literacy and math. I'll mix other concepts as well. As I see fit, I'll just put it in there if I find an activity that I like. So for this one, I don't remember what the activity was in the book, but I just cut up the piggy bank and I told him to stick 10 stickers on there. He wrote 10. This was dice, and I have a sticker book with numbers, and so he just put the number underneath. He could have written it in, that's fine. D, sorting things. Let's start with the letter D in the doghouse. Now this one, I just created a lift the flap, because lift the flaps are quite common to see in interactive notebooks. I just took a piece of paper, folded in half again. So I was able to get these. I wrote the letters on there, and then I had the pictures cut out already, and I had my son paste them into where they belong. So that was fun. And for this one here, it was one of those activities where all the uppercase letters were on one side, all the lowercase were on the other side, and they had to use a pencil to match them. I just cut them out and had him sort them, and I divided the paper into 4. That gave it a bit more of a hands-on approach. So for this, I actually am the one who does the cutting for my son. Depending on what the activity is, if it involves something that's with straight lines, I would have him cut cut, but because he's still learning about cutting and all that, I just basically cut it and give him the shapes or the pictures, and he does the actual sorting activity. So there's that. This one was like a match or whatever. You guys get the point. So I'm just gonna share with you typically what I do. What I do is I grab the book, and the letter that we left off with was G. So we did E, F, and then I kind of do other things there. But I kind of am going in a bit of an order with the letters as far as that phonics one goes. So we left off at G. I just basically, is this even the book? So one of the books has the, no, it's not in this one. It's in this one. One of the books has the letters on it. I could just write the letters on the paper, but I just have these. I'm like, oh, they're cute. So I will cut that out. So I can rip this page out. Now, obviously, if I'm cutting out something on one side, I'm gonna ruin whatever it is on the other side. In this case, there's nothing really there. But sometimes for some activities, you gotta decide what it is you're gonna save, what it is you're gonna use, and so on and so forth. What I actually do have here is I have some scrap papers of like ones that I didn't really use up. Like I used a couple of cutouts there, and I'm keeping this because I might need those pictures for a future project or a future lesson or activity. So I do keep them. Some of them I can't keep, like they're done, but for a lot of them I can find a use for them in the future. So anyway, so I'm cutting out G, and I think for this activity I'm gonna do sorting of G and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. G and H, sorry. So we have G and also H. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the guitar because this can be something that I give my son to sort. So there, so I have that. And yeah, so I'll just put this away somewhere. This guy I can even use for a future activity, right? So I might even keep this paper here. We have G, and I said H as well. Let me find H in here. So we have H. Okay, so I have those. And then I have this like phonics book here. So actually, oh, at the back of this, I have a Ziploc bag where I keep like scrap pieces of paper, because sometimes I like to like pre-do a page for my son to do the next day. So I found these G ones, and I knew G was coming up soon, so I just kind of saved them in here. We have garbage, gift, and grapes. I will be using this. So I do have some more G ones here, but let's see if I can find some more H. So I have my phonics book here, and I'm gonna look for H. So yeah, we have hamster, house, hen, and on the back there is a word search, so perfect, I will be using that anyway. Oops. There we go. My little hamster here. What I will do now is, so I'll have the little shapes here, or the pictures, and then I'm just gonna glue G here and H here. So about half of the page there. I'm kind of eyeballing it, and then I'm just gonna glue down the G. And the H. So now what I would do is I would just put these pictures in front of my son, and I'll say, okay, sort. So he will sort, and he'll go through each picture. Horse. Sometimes I'm with him while I'm doing it. Garbage. But he will sort them on, and then he'll glue them on. So yeah, that's basically it. And if he doesn't finish, or like right now, I'll prepare the activity for him to do later. I'm just gonna take all of these loose page pictures here. And again, I'll just put it at the back. And just stick them in this little Ziploc bag and they're ready to go. Well, that is it on how I am making an interactive notebook using Workbooks. If you like this video, please give it a thumb up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.